Welcome to the Cool Fireman Podcast, a virtual firehouse kitchen table with What's a Rolfie, Unky, Fireman 1231, JDB Cubed, and Fireman Freddy. Let's get to the show.
All right. Welcome back. It's episode 4. We're going to talk about firehouse cooking. So today, we're going to start off with my new favorite little bit. It's called Fireman Freddy Apologizes. Go ahead and apologize to your family for episode 1, bud. I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor.
Hey, so the apology to me is from me, not to me, is during episode 1, while I was hosting, I had a list of things in my head that I needed to get accomplished in a certain amount of time. Went through all of my history. I neglected the most important part of my life. I have 2 amazing kids, and I've been married to my amazing wife for coming up on 14 years here. So love them. They listen to every episode, and just wanted to say, you guys are awesome.
Freddy,
all right.
How much sleep have you lost because you did that?
To be honest with you, too much. Like, I've brought it up in our chat way too many times, almost to the point where I considered coming down here and recording myself in the same clothes that I was wearing so that you could kind of like sneak it in.
And that's been 2.5 weeks or so?
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure you had the opportunity to
I feel so much better.
Good. All right, we're going to review the rookie tip I gave last time. Though you might be not be a good cook or be a good cook yourself, don't volunteer to cook until you are rotated in. Make sure the meals are on time. Make sure it's hot. Make sure it's a lot. Keep them waiting enough, and they will eat anything does not apply in the firehouse. Be the last one to serve your plate. Don't load up your plate on the first time and wait to go for seconds. So that was the rookie tip from the last episode. And we're going to get into, okay, one thing is my pet peeve is your table manners. That drives me nuts.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. New firefighters follow the conversation. Don't lead it. Resist the temptation to have opinions about anything and everything. Just kind of feel out your crew by listening to them. Yeah.
Please address this to Jesse Smith.
Oh, okay. Jesse Smith.
You can address this. You can address this right to me.
Government name.
I struggle with that all the time. And I'll come back to this, Unky, when you're done. But I actually read a really cool article about that. But go ahead.
Okay. And my pet peeves are, come on, man, no farting at the table. Around people are eating. I can't stand that. And eat with your mouth shut. That's my 2 biggest pet peeves. What about y'all?
I fart a lot.
I'll go to Freddy since he's got a story already.
Well, one thing for me, being in the fire service for like 12 years, you kind of get a good smattering, if you will, of different calls and different life experiences. I'm 40, so I've been around the block for a little while. So I tend to find myself engaged in the conversations often. And it honestly used to bug me because I would catch myself like talking a lot. I talk a lot. It is what it is. But I end up finding this interesting article, at least for myself, that people who have ADD or suffer from ADD, oftentimes when you tell a story and you feel like somebody jumps in and tells a similar story or the same story, that's actually like a sign for somebody who has ADD. That's actually like a compliment because that shows that they are engaged with your story. They're actively listening and they want to relate to you because they have something that happened to them. They're trying to tell you that you're not the only person in the world that's ever happened to. Like it's like something like that. So it's when you find somebody who talks a lot and who maybe suffers from ADD, not AED, suffers from ADD, comparative stories are actually, it happens a lot to me and I actually have to bite my tongue, but apparently it's not as bad of a thing as it's supposed to be.
Okay. What about you, Doug?
Well, Are we talking about new guys or are we talking about in general?
I'm just talking about you pet peeves at the dinner table, man. Want to pass?
I can't. No, I can't. Matt, what you were getting ready to talk about farting? You said you fart a lot. Yeah, it's a problem.
I've actually been banned from farting. They banned me.
It's not a pet peeve of mine. I don't really have a lot of pet peeves at the dinner table, other than just don't overtake the conversation. Let the conversation flow. Freddie was just talking about guys with attention issues and things like that. But my biggest issue is guys like rookies and newer guys, or the people who aren't acclimated to shift. Maybe they're detailed in for the day or overtime or whatever. Granted, a lot of us see each other and we get along, but some of us work for pretty big departments that you might not ever see a guy for once a year, maybe. Just don't overtake the conversation. Don't be that one upper. Well, this I ran the so and so. All right, man, but dude, whatever. We've all done it. We're not
what the
talking
term
about
is
that.
for that, Doug? It's a stan. You guys know what a stan is?
Oh yeah,
Shit,
well,
that
Freddie
is.
does.
Like a 622?
No,
220?
that's not a 622 or a 330.
A 220, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, inform me. I don't know what that is.
No, guy that's been there 2 years and acts like he's been there 20.
Oh, got it. All right,
Matt, what about you? What you got?
dude. I love
You being the farter.
Huh?
Yeah, you're the
I
farter.
love-
Farter.
Okay, let's go away from that. I love Chow Time. I think it's amazing because that's when everybody's at the table. We're all talking, we're all eating, and most of the time, all of what you guys are saying is not happening, or maybe it's happening very minimal. So what we're pointing out is something that happens very minimally. But as a new guy, just some, words of wisdom here, especially for these new kids coming up these days, is like, don't watch the TV for the first year when you're on probation. Typically, like I would sit facing away from the TV and closest to the telephone. That way, if the telephone rang, I'm able to answer it. But typically, and people are going to think this is maybe kind of weird that aren't firefighters, but we do have, and we don't say that we do, but typically we do have assigned seating.
Absolutely.
And we're all pretty, well, I guess firefighter will say we're pretty humble and we'll say, there's no assigned seating, sit where you want. But really there's a captain, engineer, firefighter.
But I sit there.
Yeah, I sit right there. Yeah, I'm gonna sit right here, even though it's not assigned. But dude, Chow Time is great. I don't know if you guys do play cards or anything for dishes. That's kind of a traditional thing in the fire service, or at least from what I've known. And so we play a game called 31, or we'll play jokers and marbles, and whoever gets out last has to do suds. And then of course everybody else helps out, but at least it designates who's going to be in the suds, and then everybody else is mopping and taking out trash. So it's just a good time. I mean, I think people can relate to that you're all eating good food, having good conversation, but yeah, keep all what you guys said in mind, and it's just minimal part of a fantastic part of the day.
Yeah.
Best part of the day.
What about you, Nick?
Best part of a week. Sorry.
Are we still on table manners?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you chime in, Nick?
So my thing, y'all know me. I'm easygoing, easy to get along with. I'm all about cutting up the dinner table, but just don't be obnoxious. Well, let me ask y'all something. What's the rule on belching, like burping?
I mean, I think it's a different category than farting to me.
But like one step down.
Zero farting at the dinner table. We've established that.
Yeah.
But now everybody knows that. Don't fart
Guilty.
at the dinner table. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that at your mama's house or your grandma's house. So, what?
In summation, don't do it
Like,
at your mother's
Doug,
house or your grandma's house.
Right? But you said don't take over the conversation. And what I'm about to say is take this with a grain of salt. The concept of don't speak unless spoken to. That being said, I'm not saying you don't get to talk. Ask questions at the dinner table, because that's the time. some of the best training you'll get is at that dinner table, streetwise.
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah,
can
I think-
all agree upon that.
Yeah, I think all of us absolutely understand what you're saying right there. I mean, it's okay to interject, but don't sit there like quiet as a church mouse. It's okay to speak.
That's almost worse. Somebody who doesn't talk,
Yeah, that's
you can't get a
absolutely-
reading on them.
Yeah,
Right. But what I'm saying, what I say that is don't be the only.
I
But-
thought today, Junior.
Today, Junior.
I said,
The time-
son.
The
A
time at the-
foghorn leghorn. Oh,
Now, who's responsible for this unwarranted attack on my person?
oh,
funny calls like when Woody Cherry throwed a God rest his soul throwed a helmet at a car that was going by a car wreck too fast. He threw his helmet at the car and broke the back glass. He got rid of that.
Well, I mean, how the hell did we talk? Where'd that come
Where are
from?
we gone?
There's a story
I
at the
have no
dinner
idea.
table.
Yeah, it's a dinner time story, right?
Yeah.
I'm a big
But-
listener. I like to keep quiet and listen to other people's stories. You learn more about your crew of what certain people like, certain things on scenes, and what they're good at and what they're bad at. So if you ever sit in the front and right, you learn, this person, he's good at this, he's bad at that. So you know what kind of positions you put him in. I listen
know.
most of the time.
I know that we usually do our rookie tips at the end of the show and what have you, but one thing that I was taught early on in my first department was you got to learn where dudes sit and you got to learn where dudes sleep. And if you master the two of those, then you're already a leg up on everybody else. So you come into the kitchen and all right, Jim Bob sits there, Billy Joe sits there, Bobby Ray sits right there.
Ho. I feel attacked right now.
Yeah, really.
Nick, you probably do too.
Why, Dougie B?
Jim
Why do you
Bob and
feel
Billy
attacked,
Joe and
Dougie
Billy
B?
Ray, Bobby Ray.
Nobody in Michigan has two first names.
Nobody.
If they do, they're a serial
Attacked.
killer.
Right
Quit
now.
stealing our traditions.
So typically you're taking the less desired seat, which old department back to the TV, new department back to the TV. Usually, at my new department in our dorm room, just they don't have names, but it's just hey man, what bed you taking? Oh, I'm taking 3. Oh, I'm taking the watch bed. Oh, I'm taking this one. I'm taking that one. You kind of figure it out, because the other thing you don't want to do is like make your bed at 11:30 at night when everybody else is in there sleeping and you're clunking around and making a noise. So
I make mine first thing in the morning. I try to.
figure out where people like to be, because they find a spot, and a lot of times that spot, maybe not so much all the time, but sometimes that spot ends up being their spot because that's where they were put when they were the low guy, and they just end up liking that spot.
Okay, just circle back.
because I fart a lot. So
All right.
Well, I heard if you hold in your farts, it travels up your spine, and that's where shitty ideas come from.
All right.
exactly.
Okay, circling back to what you said real quick. I think, like you said, listening to your crew, but if the BC's over for dinner or lunch or what have you, and there's a conversation of senior guys going on, you're right. Just shut up and soak that in, especially if they're talking about previous calls or whatever. Soak that wisdom up. That's a good time to be quiet and just listen. And if you have a question about it, then hey, can I touch base on that for a second? I look clarification, blah blah blah. I think that's let each conversation dictate where you fall in that conversation.
Okay. Well, to get
What were you
back
saying,
on,
Matt?
go ahead, Matt.
Oh, sorry.
I got nothing.
Nothing. Okay. All right. Let's get back to the basics. Firehouse cooking in the kitchen, did table manners. I can't stand when somebody says, "Well, I can't cook."
Nope.
I can't stand that. If my dinner group, everybody takes turns cooking. If you can't cook, guess what? There's a million recipes in the palm of your hands with Google. You can find a recipe and follow it to a T. If you can't, as one of my captains said before, if you can't follow a recipe, we got bigger problems. That means you can't read, and you can't follow directions. So I'm all about everybody needs to cook something, and should always have at least 3 recipes that you're decent at that you start rotating in, and make sure that you don't take anybody else's recipe. Because I know at my firehouse, there's certain meals that, like the captain, he's the loose meat king. So burgers, meatloaf, stuff like that,
Oh.
he's good at,
Loose meat.
and nobody else touches it.
What?
So, what, Doug?
Loose
I
meat.
said, oh, loose meat. Okay.
That's called him the loose meat king. So I don't believe in the I can't cook. Just find a recipe, you follow it, you get 3 recipes, and start rotating them and practice them at home, practice them with friends. I mean, what do y'all think about that?
It's spaghetti, tacos, taco salad, however you want, pasta salad. Like there's so many things that are so easy to do. The I can't cook excuse doesn't fly. I know I don't want, what are we on Zennials now? I think is what the younger generation coming in is. You know, they haven't.
Yeah, the Tide Pod people.
Whatever.
No, Zennials are like 80 to 86. That's at micro generation. Right now you're on generation Z. No, what's coming in? Like generation Y, maybe?
Whatever it is, the younger 20s right now. They've probably never had to cut their own grass. They've probably never had to cook a meal. But those things are so simple. Like literally, you follow the box. It's not difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they may need a little guiding, but I don't want to hear that I can't cook crap. Well, Chick-fil-A makes my food.
Yeah. Well, we taught people. We had this one guy. He did cordon chicken bleu, and he was pretty decent at it. And it was hit and miss. Sometimes it's like caked with raw flour on top at the very end. This guy was in his 40s, and we're trying to put a meal together. He's in his early 40s, didn't know how to test when a noodle was done. We gave him Velveeta macaroni and cheese to make. And so one of our guys goes, all right, you take one of the noodles out and you taste it and see if it's right. Okay. Takes a big old scoop of macaroni and cheese and water and slaps it right in his hand. Burns his hand. 40-some-year-old man.
How does that happen?
Doesn't know how to cook noodles. I have no idea. But we sat there and we worked with him. And he knew when we were prepping dinner to come out there. And we started him on cutting vegetables. And that took a couple weeks to get right. I mean, he had a hard time cutting the onion. And we'll teach you. We have no problem with that, but you will cook.
Yeah, but don't say I can't do it.
Yeah.
In anything.
I got one better for y'all talk about box dinners. We had a guy who he's a lieutenant now. But when he got started, he said, I'm gonna cook. Well, he comes back with 2 boxes of shake and bake chicken. Well, the captain walked in, he said, what we having? Shake and bake chicken. Where's the chicken? It's in the box.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
I cannot make this stuff up.
Yeah.
To this day, it's still that is what he's known for. Now he's good now. I mean, but it's just one of them funny stories. He laughs about it now.
People don't think hamburger. People think hamburger comes in the box of Hamburger Helper. I've heard that.
Yeah.
You guys remember the old commercials for Shake and Bake?
Yeah.
It's shake and bake, and I helped.
Yeah.
The little girl.
Yeah.
I mean, shameless plug here for the 5 of us. You know, anybody listening, all 5 of us do cooking content on our social media platforms. And believe it or not, I have seen people with their phones set up right on the counter, pause, either watching a YouTube video or watching TikTok or what have you, and they're making meals. All 5 of us do cooking content. And for the most part, none of it is like this intricate using A5 Wagyu beef. I mean, we all work as firefighters. We got to shop at the grocery store. We're getting stuff out of a can. We're looking for sales. The main thing I think for needing to know a recipe is anybody can make a grilled cheese. And, grilled cheese tomato soup is an easy punt, if you will, on a lunch. You can buy a taco kit that's in a box. You turn it over, it literally tells you buy a pound of ground beef. Everything else is in this box. You brown the ground beef, you throw the seasoning in, you put it into the taco shells. Done. There's 2 meals right there that you really don't have to do much for.
Yeah, there's not a day that goes by that I don't favorite somebody's video on TikTok of somebody's cooking.
Yeah, I'm gonna make that at work.
One of my favorites is Pepper Belly Pete. I love him. He makes a lot of stuff that I like to eat. And
Let's get started.
Yeah, I've got so many of his videos saved, and a lot of times I'll cook that stuff at work.
He looks annoyed when he's cooking, doesn't he?
But he's so happy at the same time.
I'm gonna make this for you. Let's get started.
His cowboy pasta is legit.
I love him.
Yeah, have you made it?
Yeah, it's this the bomb. I was gonna make Freddy's meatloaf one day, but I just say, why don't you just come down? Why don't you just come down south and make it here?
And I did.
Yeah. Same with Doug's chicken wings. I had to go up there and get it.
And then he came down and made them.
And again, I had them twice. They are good.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually gonna try your wings, Doug.
Yeah.
Well, let's go. We got I've written down 7 different types of cooks that are in the firehouse.
Yes.
And everybody can relate to this. And there's probably more different types. Me and Nick talked about it the other day on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out names within your department right now. Call them out when he said, no, I'm joking.
All right. Oh, I got
sandwich.
perfect person.
Sandwich Sam.
The first person I want to talk about is the use every pan in the house cook.
We got one of those.
That is my father. My father can make a sandwich, and every pot and pan was everywhere in the firehouse. Guys usually joke me about it. And then I turn around and look at the kitchen counter, and that's how I was. And I slowly gotten better over it. But you got to use every pan in the house. You got the guy that lives to eat. That's the guy that can make anything taste good. Usually cholesterol is an ingredient. Some cheesy, buttery, fried. That dude just loves to eat.
Guilty.
I think it's a little bit of all of us. Yeah. And you got the gourmet cook that likes to use exotic stuff, exotic ingredients. Usually none of the firefighters really enjoy that type of ingredient. You got the prepared food cook. That's the guy that's the chicken fingers, the Stouffer's meatloaf, lasagna, rotisserie chicken guy. That's what me and Nick were talking about the other day. That's okay if you've been gone all day long. Yeah. And it's past dinner time. We got to eat now. That's one thing.
What's your guys' mail-in meal?
Pizza.
If you catch a burner or you guys been busy all day,
pizza.
We usually just go pizza.
Chicken patties.
Y'all keep them in stock there, Nick? Or
I think about every shift. If you go to the freezer, you're guaranteed to find a bag of Tyson chicken patties or Food Line brand chicken patties. There's always bread. I ain't never been to a fire station where there's like 10 half things of hamburger buns or bread.
Yeah.
And they're like
the carb closet.
The carb closet.
Yeah. Or like there's there's one bun and a pack of 12. And I'm like, and it's been there for like, nobody throws anything away at the fire department. So, and like, it's all hard and stuff.
We usually keep some French fries and hamburgers around. Frozen hamburgers. They're quick and easy. Like you said, there's always bread.
Mm-hmm. There's always lunch. There's always lunch meat, like or deli meat or whatever.
Mm-hmm. There's usually Brunswick stew in one of our freezers. But luckily, my fire station is right beside the food line. It's literally, we walk to it every day. So we've got that luxury if they're still open.
Yeah.
So we could go frozen pizza, but normally we'll just order Papa John's or Pizza Hut, whatever's closer. Red Baron.
Red Baron.
Yeah, we love a Red Baron. Red Baron show.
The food Leon.
The other 3 cooks I got is the health nut cook. You will lose weight. He's usually from Starvin. Yeah. We have one of those guys. He's in the firefighter fitness challenge stuff. I heard from his station, his guys, he'll portion control. He used to portion control you without yeah. And
you can bring your own. Leave me alone.
Yeah, so we got the health nuts, the hot and a lot. Those guys that, like, my house is a 4-man company. My captain and this one other guy, they came from big stations. So they're used to cooking for 12.
Hey, speaking of food, look what my daughter just walked in with.
Hey.
Guinea pigs.
No, those are pigs.
I was gonna say those look like pigs.
Oh wow.
So we have a farm across the road, and they just had these piglets. How old are they now? A month? Oh God.
I need some ham and some bacon. Right
Bacon.
now.
So this is my daughter Kendall, and this is her friend Bristol. We're going to see Cody Johnson tonight.
Cody
Ooh.
Johnson.
Yeah.
This dude's chill. Girl, this girl's chill.
That's Jenny. She's ours.
Apparently this one's ours. Okay.
Congratulations.
Get out of here.
It's a funny looking dog.
You're a dad
That's a
again.
funny looking beagle, Doug.
Wow. Oh boy. Sorry to interrupt there, Unky.
No, it's fine. You got the hot and lot cooking. Feeding 6 people, but it has food for 12 more people. The leftover guy. We're constantly throwing away leftovers at my station.
Right.
I've been trying to get the guys, look, we're a 4-man engine company, cook for
Dial it
6,
back.
not
Dial it
for
back.
12 or 18. Yeah. Then we have the most famous cook in everybody's firehouse, the Cheapskate.
Oh no, not me.
Yeah, the guy that's not afraid to pillage the pantry, people's leftovers, the freezer, and just try to make a meal for a firehouse under $10. That guy. Do you all have that guy?
Mhm.
Yeah, but we
It's
what the hell was that?
honestly not in my firehouse, but I know in my department there are a couple of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, when everybody throws in 10 or 15 bucks a day, he comes back from the store with $3 worth of groceries. Wait a minute, what's about to happen here?
Hey,
Yeah.
there's always a question from the people in the stores. Do we pay for our food or not?
Yeah,
That's
we
always
get that a
big
lot.
one.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
we pay for our food. Our city doesn't pay for it.
Nope.
And some people are blown away that we pay for the city doesn't buy our own meals. I'm like, do you take your lunch to work?
Yeah.
It's like any other job.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a weird feeling when you have a splurge day and you want to spend a little bit more money to have a nice meal and people are watching you buy steaks or whatever it is, and they're like, they think that they're paying for your meal. It's like, yeah, we all buy our own meal. We pay for a lot of things, actually, all the staples and stuff like that we pay for.
Yeah. So that's actually that's good that you bring that up, Matt. Like, so for us, we work a 3-day cycle. We throw $40 in per week. If for some reason you don't work one of the days, then it's $13. It's $13 per day. Out from that, we shop for our groceries. Every single day we take $1 out of that 13 that each person pays, and we put it into our staples fund. So everybody who's working, you take $1 away, you put it in the staples fund. And then with that, you have to buy all your groceries, you have to buy your proteins, what have you. We have found, at least in Michigan, we used to be $30 a cycle, and we just upped it this year, just within this, within January, we've upped it to 40 because the unfortunate soul that ended up cooking on the 3rd day of the cycle was either having to assess everybody or making, $21 work for 6 guys.
Chicken and pastry.
We'll
We just
talk
make
about
it easy.
pastries.
We just make, huh?
Nick said chicken and pastry. I said, we'll talk about pastry.
What does everybody else pay?
We don't pay, we just pay, we just divide the check. We go to the store every day, and if the meals,
Oh Lord.
if it's $60 for the day, it's $20 a head for lunch and dinner.
Yeah, we were always $10 a day. It was $5 a meal, but obviously inflation, we've gone up to 12, and I'm at a dual house, so we feed 8 for lunch, 7 for dinner. So we just do 12 a day, no matter what. And if it's less than whatever that comes out to, I don't math that quick. We just keep it in the kitty, and again, that'll hopefully add up over time. And then once a month, maybe we can afford to splurge on chicken wings or steaks or whatever.
Yeah,
but I think you guys are talking about staples. That's what you call your house fund.
Yeah,
Your
board bill,
condiments and that kind of
staples.
stuff.
Yeah.
We call it-
We pay that That's a flat rate regardless for us. It's $12
We
a
do
month.
that too.
We call it a kitty.
Kitty.
Yeah.
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 In my firehouse, we pay $5 a month for it. Because mostly everybody, if my meal contains mayonnaise, I'll buy it,
Yeah.
and we have leftovers. So we usually our kitty money it kind of piles up, and when it comes to our meals, you just buy it. We got a grocery store on base. We just go out there and get it ourselves, and everybody spends roughly between $40 to $60. The other station on base, they have done $40 a pay period every 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
That's them.
Do you guys have a fridge for each shift?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have
We
we have
don't.
2 refrigerators. We call it a
Yeah.
kitty refrigerator, which is a normal size one, and then we have a stand-up freezer out in the warehouse.
Yeah, we have 3, but one of them is like it's out in the laundry room. It's old and busted, but yeah. So I would, if we had one per shift, I think it'd be a lot easier to do that, Unky, where you could just buy your own condiments, keep them, whatever. But we don't. Most of our stations don't have that.
Okay, it's getting close. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do the recipe of the week. This is my favorite. My firehouse is my shift. Their favorite meal that I cook is the huli huli chicken. Have you all
Who?
ever heard of it?
Hooey.
Hula hula.
Yeah, it's like Hawaiian chicken.
Oh,
And man, it is so good. I serve it with Zatarain's Caribbean rice.
Oh.
And when you do that, don't just add the water. They have little options on the back where you can swap out stuff. You add some pineapple chunks to it. You substitute a cup of the water for orange juice or coconut milk. And I've done the
Yes.
orange juice, and it's fantastic. That's for the experienced cook to start swapping out ingredients. So it's very good. But anyways, in closing, having a good meal can make a bad day better. We all know that. That's why we love to eat, because we all have a rough day. But so go ahead.
Don't trust a skinny chef.
Speaking of skinny chefs, episode 4, rookie tip, is all Nick's.
All right. So rookie tip that I got, when you go to Recruit Academy, Fire Academy, rookie school, or whatever it's being called, usually you start every morning with PT, and by the time you get out of rookie school, you're in somewhat decent shape because you run every day, this, that, and the other. You're given the knowledge of like nutrition, health and wellness is a certification class here in North Carolina. Nutrition tips, physical activity. That being said, when you go to your assigned company, that company, they make PT maybe the last thing on their mind. Don't get what's the word? Complacent.
that is the word.
That is the word. Okay.
That's a decent word.
Maintain
word.
Yeah. Maintain physical fitness. I'm not saying you need to get up at 4:00 in the morning or go out there like you're training for the Olympics or a marathon, but I mean, we have entertainment in the palm of our hands. Go get on the treadmill, turn on Netflix, walk, run, whatever. You have music access. You have all these things to get through your workout, and not just hearing the sound of you breathing hard or whatever. Maintain your physical fitness. Get out there, walk, jog, lift some weights. Doesn't have to be heavy. Doesn't have to be. You don't have to work out for 2 hours. Hour a day. We're allotted an hour a day. My thing is, if you can get out there and do physical exercise for 30 minutes, you're doing something.
You could listen to a 30-minute podcast, maybe.
Or 2.
You sure can. With us ugly fellers. But
Speak for yourself.
get out, but don't just go through. Yeah, right. Don't just go through the motions. Get out there and maintain your physical fitness. It's your responsibility to take care of your well-being. Also, go to the doctor. You have health insurance for a reason. I would hope you have health insurance. If you have a job, if you have your job gives you health insurance, use that health insurance. Go to the doctor, get yourself checked. If you have blood pressure issues, get medicated for it. Yes, we love good food. We love good flavor. We love comfort food, but also keep in mind what you're eating. Don't just have hamburgers. Don't have hamburgers and hot dogs and beef blood every meal. Eat some greens. That's all I got.
Yo.
All right. Does anybody
Shit.
else got anything else for this episode?
Nope.
No, man.
All right. Then it's shift change.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
He did it. He left. Peace out. He's gone.
Oh, that's good stuff.